Welcome everyone, Adam the Woo here, coming to you from Birmingham, Alabama, leaving straight ahead downtown Birmingham, and I am currently riding in not an RV. Wow, this is a little bit smaller than Large Marge. Today I'm gonna be hanging out with my friend Gary. He's driving me around, and he has a little air freshener too. This is not, that's not Big the Foot. Do you have a name for your air freshener?
It's Copper the Canyon.
Copper the Canyon? Oh, Copper the Canyon. I think I like Big the Foot better. I'm biased. Oh dang, what the heck are these? What are these? I just came in here for some coffee and just looked at some kind of like pig ear or something. Never had this particular brand before, Vintage House. It's a good name for it because it tastes like it's an antique. Right next to this cemetery. Check out that American flag. It's like completely shredded. At the end of this dead-end street in this residential neighborhood, looks to be some artwork in this yard. Wow, this house is highly decorated with lots of signs and all kind of stuff behind that fence. It's located at the back end of this cemetery. This particular sign says keep out and the gate is closed. But just look how much stuff is in this yard. There's a camper parked here saying God bless America, and it's In Yo Face Catering. And up in this planter is Barbie and Ken. Quite a few mannequins have been used for the displays, including down here the head of Jack Skellington. A lot of police vehicles and Bible verses that are quoted as well. Definitely a lot of time and effort went into this place. And I'm wondering if the gentleman that created all this lives inside that house. It is locked up with wire. A lot of baby dolls, faces, some toilet seats. And I'm noticing this gate does not have a lock on it. And you've lived in Birmingham your whole life, right? And you never knew about this place.
No.
Now, in your opinion, the gate's unlocked. It says no children without parents. We're not children. In your opinion, do you think we should go in and look around? Okay, we're going in. We're gonna take a look around. Okay, now I'm seeing that says private property. So maybe we shouldn't. Maybe we're not allowed to go in here. I think the best option is probably not to go walking around.
What bad influence?
This is probably not a great idea to be wandering around in there. You can still get a pretty good view from behind the fence. He's incorporated some bowling balls into the artwork, and it looks like some old road signs. He's pulled a lettering off to spell out his message. He has a little dedication to Rosa Parks and the date December 1st, 1955 from Montgomery. Wow, there is just an incredible amount of stuff to look at in here. I'm thinking at one point, or when it is open, that's the front entrance. And as you walk in, the sign right there states African Village, America. I think that's, or was, the main entrance. And now I'm really starting to notice the plethora of keep out signs. So we're just gonna keep our distance and stay on the outside of the fence. And it's not just on that side of the road, it's also on one of the homes on the other side as well. It's hard to wrap your head around how much time was spent on this property. Really is incredible. What I want to know is, you've lived here your whole life and you never knew about this place.
I know, it's crazy, man.
I don't know what's more amazing, what's behind the fence or what's in front of the fence on this side. Broken up, busted graves. Look how dilapidated and caved in all these graves are. Man, first impression when you see something like this is, you know, it's a little bit creepy, but at the same time it's very sad. It makes me very sad to see graves in this shape. My goodness. Most of these are from the early 1900s, but still you rarely see headstones and resting places in this sort of shape. This is around the backside, and you can see they've used old restaurant signage to construct some of the pieces through here, all along the wooden fence. Billboard lettering that has been laid across it. And over here on this street corner, looks like he's also placed a bunch of signs at this main thoroughfare intersection, about a mile down the road from the house. What the heck is that? This fountain has... You gotta find a place to park. I gotta get out. I gotta check this out, Doc. Right in front of this Methodist church is a fountain, and in the fountain are some animals being taught by a goat-headed man. Interesting. It has been titled The Storyteller, but it really doesn't answer the question of why there is a creature of the goat head persuasion in the town square. Do you have any idea why it's here? You being a local and a resident of this neck of the woods for so long?
Yeah, me. I have no idea.
That's the official answer. Why is there a goat-headed man? You got me. I have no idea. Whatever the reason, I think we can both agree it's not something you normally see every day. There's also an American flag with the peace sign embedded in it. Check out that train right there. On the opposite side of the railroad tracks. It's on its own personal railroad track, but it's not operational anymore.
I can't let you in. You know what I'm saying? Because they talk crazy. Me, I really don't care. It don't make no difference to open it up all day, really.
We want to check out that place called Sloss Furnace, but we were told to come back a little bit later. Gonna get a bite to eat at this little diner called Dreamland. They got some really cool neon in here. Uh-oh. Well, that's disappointing. That is really disappointing. I got myself some sweet tea, and looking at the menu, it's all barbecue. I have not had barbecue since Texas, so I think I'm gonna go with some pulled pork. Oh man, look at all that goodness. All right, this is what we're dealing with. Pulled pork, potato salad, baked beans, an overload of bread. The barbecue sauce is actually warmed up. It's actually warm barbecue sauce, and you opted for a side of okra. And just to let you know, I'm gonna have to borrow a couple of those okra pieces because that looks. Oh, what kind of sauce is on the okra? Ooh, that place. Huge thumbs up. Awesome. We're now arriving at Sloss Furnace. It's open to the public. This massive old factory. You can walk around in there. Pretty cool looking for sure. The old boilers. Made in Chattanooga, Tennessee, but located in Alabama. We're going to go down into the darkness now. It's not incredibly dark because there is a light here. Watch your head according to that sign. It's very, very low. Going into the tunnel. We're now in the tunnels underneath the furnaces themselves. Good thing they have lighting down here because this would be incredibly creepy if it wasn't illuminated. One would even say that maybe the chuds could be found down here. The chuds! Very damp, and moist here in the nether regions. Oh my goodness, look. The slime it's like green slime. The walls are leaking and you can hear the train directly above us. And there is a piece of heavy machinery just left to rot down here. Have you ever seen that movie about the Chuds? Have you ever seen the movie about the Chuds?
No.
It's terrifying. We were just walking through there. It seriously is like something out of a horror film. The water dripping, the train going by, all of the elements. Ooh. It is pretty cool. They let you just wander around in here. No trespassing involved. In fact, don't quote me on this, but I believe this is a national landmark. I think that's what the sign out front said. Inside this room is what is referred to as the blowing engine. You can see all the bells and whistles here to make it operational. And I was just noticing there is a pulley directly above that one, holding it in place right there. This thing is very heavy. It reminds me of the ending scene in the Sylvester Stallone movie Cobra, when he takes the bad guy and he hangs him on that hook. Did you ever see that movie?
Yeah, I've seen that.
What were you doing?
I don't know.
In 1881, this was founded by James Withers Sloss. And his name is forever etched in the water tower. Right up there. Do you think in this day and age someone would name their son Withers? That was his legitimate middle name. I've never met anybody named Withers. There's a gargantuan wrench left down here. Look at these. Look at these massive wheels. Scaffolding up there. You can just see how much dust has accumulated all along there. You have to imagine how many people were working down here at one time. If you turn this hard enough, you can see the chain start to move. It's very difficult, but it is moving barely. It's an old Coca-Cola sign right there, out in front of the Vulcan Mini Mart. And up the hill is the Vulcan himself. Not Spock, but another Vulcan. I see him. I see him up there in the trees. That's him! Dang, look at the size of that guy. You know, if you ask someone who was afraid of heights if they want to go to the top of this, you know what their answer would be?
I am afraid of heights.
You are?
Yeah.
Then you would say, are you out of your Vulcan mind?
Yeah. Are you out of your Vulcan mind?
Yeah, it's a little Star Trek joke. The Vulcan was created to represent the industrial might of the Birmingham district. And there is a little miniature Vulcan here. That's what he looks like at the tippy top of that tower. And that's the size of his foot. That's the actual size of his foot. That's a gargantuan sandal. And I can touch a piece of core drilled concrete taken from the Vulcan. That right there is part of the Vulcan. That's a piece of the Vulcan. Prior to him holding this metal spear, he used to hold this circular object, and now inside the little museum is that circular object here on display, all lit up with neon. And it even looks like at one point he wasn't hoisted up in the air, he was on the ground, and you could just kind of mill around him a little bit. It's a pretty amazing view of the city from up here. But we're gonna go up there to the top. Are you stoked?
Gee, thanks.
Are you stoked? There comes the elevator. That's our ride to the top.
Don't look straight down.
Whatever you do,
Don't look down.
don't look down. We're going, it's all in your mind. Just pretend that we're on the ground. Just pretend that we're on the ground. Look at this, we're up in the air.
We're not on the ground.
How are you feeling right now?
We're not on the ground.
How are you feeling right now as
Not
we
on
go?
the ground.
I see you're doing all right. You're smiling. You're having a good time.
Good time.
So far, just keep telling yourself that. Just keep telling yourself that nothing is wrong.
Great times.
Oh yeah. We're almost to the top. See? He's excited. If he can do it, you can do it.
So excited.
If he can do it, you can do it. Oh wow, now that I'm up here, I totally get it. It is slightly frightening. You realize that we're right on the edge of something kind of unsafe. There's a railing here, but there is nothing stopping us from looking over straight down. And there you go, Birmingham. What do the locals call it here?
Beham.
Beham. You better behave in Beham.
So when night falls,
What happens then?
it gets crazy.
Does it out there? Is that where is that where Kiefer Sutherland comes out? The vampires come out, the Lost Boys? Those people down there, they're wondering why I'm yelling. And honestly, I'm kind of wondering myself. This is around literally the backside where you can see his backside. If you look way down there, you can see a map on the ground. And where that star is where I'm standing currently at Vulcan Park. You can see Sloss Furnace where we just were a little while ago off on the horizon, right about there in the middle of the screen. And then as you pan out and veer to the left a little bit, you get the heart of downtown. Pretty cool up here. There's some other sort of factory off in the distance. Oh, Beham. They really don't call it that, right? No one really calls it Beham.
Beham in the house.
Do the locals really call it Beham?
Beham, Birmingham, the ham.
The ham.
The big salty ham.
The big salt. I'm gonna start calling it that. You're a beautiful town, you big salty ham. That's a good way to end this vlog. Vlog over.